Breaking crypto news. I've got a video for you guys. Today I want to be talking about Bitcoin and why I think it is so important to be buying it, and how if it does continue to go lower, I'm going to be buying more and more, and why I'm doing that. So guys, I've been an entrepreneur for basically my entire life at this point, and I know a lot of other entrepreneurs, people that don't know anything about crypto. And I've been talking with them recently about just the overall markets because, guys, these tariffs are sparking conversations about finances because a lot of these tariffs are affecting different businesses, really almost affecting every single business that outsources anything from anywhere outside of America. And when we talk about these tariffs and talk about these finances, it always leads back to, well, Black Sea, what do you think about this? We know that you're all about finance. We know that you like crypto. We know that you like to trade and invest. What do you think about this? And I say, yeah, I think there's going to be some fantastic opportunity because we're finally moving towards a more regulated and open arms culture, if you will, towards crypto and Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the only crypto in my mind, I know I might get crucified for this one, is the only crypto in my mind that is worth a long-term investment. Now, there's a difference between a long-term investment and a long-term hold, okay? A long-term investment is something where you hold forever, okay? You hold forever, you buy more, you're always buying more with not really an intention of selling. Maybe you're thinking about giving it to your kids or your grandkids and you hope that it gets passed down and passed down, passed down. A long-term hold is something like how I treat Solana, maybe, how I treat certain tech stocks, like the S&P 500, long-term investment, okay? But that doesn't mean that, like, say, Solana, I'll hold it for a few years. Like I just did. I bought it around $8 to $16. That was my average cost basis. And I sold up on the way. Once we broke $100, I started taking some profit along the way. And that's worked out really well so far because considering now we're back almost near below $100. We wicked below it, I believe. Now we're getting a little bit of relief here, but I digress. So I talked to these other entrepreneurs, and they're starting to bring up Bitcoin now. And the first thing is always, even if they don't know that how deep I am in crypto, they always say, oh, Bitcoin, yeah, that's going to $1 million. That's the first response I hear from these entrepreneurs. And now these aren't just everyday people, I'll be honest. This is not somebody that, these are older people, all right? These are older people that are older than 40 years, 50 years old. And it's fascinating because we're finally starting to get to the point where people with money are starting to understand the concept of Bitcoin and understand that it's a hedge against the financial institutions, that crypto is a disruptive item, okay? It's a very disruptive. It will disrupt the finance industry. And really the finance industry either has to embrace it or get outdated. And this older money, and I'll call it older money, sure. Older money, even though it's not really, it's people that are older, okay? People that are older are starting to understand the value of Bitcoin. This is not full adoption yet, guys. This is not this is the beginning here. We have governments talking about it. We're talking about governments creating these strategic reserves. That's happening. But every single person doesn't use it just yet. We have not fully gapped the S-curve model. We have not fully gapped it yet. Are we going up? Yes, we are on the, when you think about the S-curve like this, we are going up right now. We haven't started going like that. We're still increasing. And I think that we probably do see a 10x on Bitcoin. I think we do see $1 million Bitcoin within the next 10 years. I think that's very, very possible. And a lot can happen in 10 years. It could take less than 10 years because if true adoption happens, I'm seeing some of these articles like, oh, countries are selling, they're going to sell their gold to buy Bitcoin. I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't do that. That sounds pretty crazy. I think would my bags like that? Yes, they would love that. But I don't think that's probably the appropriate way about going about accumulating Bitcoin, especially for like digital asset stockpiles and whatnot. But I digress again, okay? What I'm trying to say is that people that are not in crypto are starting to understand the concept of Bitcoin. It was just like the internet. When the internet came out, you know, the young people were saying, oh, look at the internet. Look, I'm going on YouTube, mom, dad. And the older people didn't really understand it. Think about like Facebook. Facebook used to be for the young kids, and now the older people are using Facebook. The older people are starting to look at crypto. That's a good thing. And I'm sorry if you're 40, 50, 60 watching this. I'm not calling you old, but I'm saying that people with money that are very careful and deliberate about putting their money on the line for risk. Because, you know, the older you get, the more conservative you have to be with your investments. And when you're younger, yeah, I'm putting 50% or 100% of my net worth on Pepe coin, and you can get away with that. You should be taking those risks when you're younger. But seeing the older money, I'm going to keep calling it older money, even though it's not the same thing. Older money, seeing older money get involved with Bitcoin is a signal. It is a signal. And that's that we finally are starting to see adoption, mass adoption. And that's why no matter where we go from here, whether we go up or down on Bitcoin, I am buying every single day. And the lower we go, the more I increase my DCA up. At some point, when we are in a true bear market, you know, I've seen some people talk about, they've been asking me, Blacksy, do you think there's going to be no more 4-year cycles? I can't get behind that idea yet. The 4-year cycle is all we have. The halving event, it's all based on the supply shock of the halving event for the mining rewards. And I'm not really ready to say that we're going to see no more 4-year cycles. But that being said, the further we break down, if we break down from here, you know, we're seeing the first inkling of hope on Bitcoin. We're talking about technicals right now. We are just seeing a potential higher low, trading above like 85, 86K. Whether we go up or down, I'm going to increase my buying, okay? Excuse me. I'm going to be buying every day, but if the lower we go down, the higher I'll be buying, the more I'll be buying. If we get really low here, like if we break anywhere below, we go into like a bear market, recessionary period, these tariffs bring us down, the Fed doesn't cut rates, we see a huge sell-off on the markets. Guys, anything below like $70,000, even like in the 60s, I think is a fantastic buying opportunity. I think that Bitcoin could go, as worst case, probably 51,000 if things get really, really ugly. But I'm a buyer, guys. I'm going to continue to buy. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Are you buying Bitcoin? Are you a bull? Are you planning on holding on Bitcoin forever? Or do you think it's a big fad? I'm very curious. You know, I've been in crypto for nearly a decade. I think about a decade now. And it's just crazy to see how far it's come. And I think that we're probably, I don't want to say that the cliche of we're in the infancy stage, but we're in adoption. It's getting adopted. But not everyone in the world uses it just yet. And I think that when that does happen, you will see $1 million Bitcoin and probably higher than that, especially versus once the money printers start coming on and everyone just has to print to buy Bitcoin, and they basically push the price of Bitcoin to infinity. It's crazy to think about. But guys, if you like this type of content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel right now. I just want to come on here and give you guys my 2 cents on what I'm thinking about Bitcoin, because I had some interesting conversations with some other successful entrepreneurs, and it was quite fascinating. It was kind of eye-opening to realize that, hey, wait a second, the older generations are intrigued by Bitcoin, and they're starting to believe in it. All it takes is the mainstream media start talking about it and government's starting to buy it for them to get that green light. Pretty fascinating. But that's all I got, guys. If you want to take advantage of some volatility, check out in the description box below or pinned comment down below. We have a $5,000 sign bonus to Blowfin. All you do is click that link, deposit, trade a little bit, you get a bunch of free money. That's all I got, guys. I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.